Let's pretend just a little and say I've had my Low Voltage Pro about 3 months. I bought it primarily as a cable tester, and I love the kind of data that I get out of the Cable Test app. But I've also been using it for all the wall jack identification, speaker identification, speaker pop. I've been taking advantage of the features of it, but the one thing I would like to add is I'd really like to add length to it. Length and the quality app that you get with it, the RLQ. Well, in order to do that, I have to go from Model 1 to Model 2. So we're going to do that right now. Now, the first big thing you do is you download from bytebrothers.com, and we'll go here to Internet Explorer. We're going to download from bytebrothers.com LV Pro Manager. And I could use Google to do it, but I'm just going to go up to the address line here, and I'm going to go bytebrothers.com. Get to our home page, and then we can click on the collage here of testers. And this is our index page of products. The first product is the LV Pro. Let's go ahead and click on that. We go to LV Pro's home page. The first thing we see is LV Pro Manager software. Click here, and that's what we want. So we'll go yes. And then we can learn more about the software. But I'm just going to click again right there on the big bad hammer. And now it starts its download. Do we want to run or save it? Always select run. Let's just run it. It gives you the security warning saying fine, let's run it. It's in the process now of doing the install. And once you get the Low Voltage Pro Manager control panel screen up, the installation is done. So the question is, how can I launch this again? Well, I'll show you where it put itself. If you go to your program menu, you're going to see under Byte Brothers, there's the LV Pro Manager. So if you ever have to get back to this place again, it's now installed in your machine. Just go to Programs, Byte Brothers, LV Pro Manager. So here we are. The big green button says it wants to connect to your tester. Oh, and I should say, if during that install you get a found new hardware wizard, like you do with a lot of USB devices, say yes to its wizardry and follow it through and tell it that yes, it can search for a driver, and it's going to find a driver for the FTDI communication chip that we use. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the USB cable that you get with each LV Pro into the Low Voltage Pro. You get a screen that says USB. Now it says it's found the new hardware wizard, but at this point, because we just plugged in, so this is my example. So say, okay, let's go ahead and install. Let's see if it can find a driver for it. Say yes, let's go ahead and do it. Do I want to install it automatically? Yes, I do. So it's going to go out and look for it. And sometimes this process takes a while. I think most of you have been through this before, where it goes through and sorts through all of the various folders on your hard drive looking for the correct driver. And what it's looking for is the specific driver to talk to the communication chip that we use that connects your LV Pro up to your personal computer. There we go. It found it in the System32 folder. Completing the Found New Hardware Wizard, and just finish out of that. Okay, so we have the driver installed. We have our program up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to press the big green button to connect to the tester. It connected up, and now we have our choice of anything that's found in this particular tool line. Under tester, we can disconnect it. If we have tests on the tester, we can clear those tests. We can set the clock, which it usually does when it first comes up. But we can also do a firmware update. Now that is not new apps, new test apps. That's if Byte Brothers comes out with a new firmware update, you can update your tester there. Let's go over to applications. The application store. Let's check that out. Now, this is like a shopping cart. The application store comes up and it tells you, it interrogates your tester and it tells you what you have on your tester. You have all of the apps that come with a Low Voltage Pro Model 1. And now it wants to know, what would you like to do? I mean, this is a good app to go in just to refresh your memory as to what you have on there. But we want to go to the Low Voltage Pro 2 bundle, and that is $129. Now we can also buy individual apps if we want to. And of course, the bundle is just that, the length RLQ, so they're at the same price, $129. So let's go ahead and select the Low Voltage Pro bundle. And then we're going to, it says here it includes all the LV Pro 1 basic applications plus the length. And let's go ahead and say buy. Now when we press buy, it wants to know what is our name. So I'm going to say name is Frank Jones. And good old Frank's email address is cs@bytebrothers.com. Now you want to put your own personal address in here. And your phone number is XXXXXXXX, so on and so forth, in case we have to contact you. Now again, I shouldn't put Byte Brothers in, it might confuse you. Let's go Frank Jones, oops, no spaces allowed, frankjones@gmail.com, all right? And then press OK. And it says your purchase request has been sent off. Byte Brothers will contact you soon. Now we're going to take a little break, because what happens is that Byte Brothers tech support and customer service, they're going to get that email and it's going to have your request. They're going to give you a call and process your credit card, and then they're going to send you the code that allows you to upgrade. So I'll get back with you once I have that code. Frank Jones here. Continuing our skit, I have worked out the financial details with Byte Brothers. They collected a credit card from me to pay for the upgrade, and they emailed me a serial number that I'm going to use to upgrade my tester. And so let me show you how that's done, because it's really simple. First, we have to connect our tester again to the LV Pro Manager. So I turn it on, plug in the USB cable. Let's go here to the Start menu and go to Programs, go to Byte Brothers, and of course you know how to do it. You can create shortcuts here and put it on your desktop, but that's on the Program menu. What do we want to do? Let's connect to the tester. It connected it, and so we're still in the Purchase Applications area, so we'll hit Purchase Applications, and it says if you have an upgrade code, enter it in the box below. Well, it's a long upgrade code because it's encrypted, so I just cut and paste it right out of the email. I'm going to say upgrade now. Application upgrade successful. See how easy that was? Now, let's go ahead and get out of this. Now let's go back to our tester. Let's power down and power up, just to be safe. And do you notice anything new on our screen? Let me scroll across. You see I have the ruler. That's length. I have length. And that length will also be part of our cable test app too. Any cable testing we do will also have length in it. So we have a huge app here, because length plus RLQ does a heck of a lot more than just measure things. It also does the quality testing. You can select the velocity of propagation. It just goes on and on and on. Don't get overwhelmed by it. You could just run it in standard default mode, and like you would any other tester. But it's really quite an app to have. And now I'm an official Low Voltage Pro Model 2. Thank you.